Hello everyone, LRon here with part 73 of my total Terraria world Annihilation. So, it looks like in the course of the previous video I set up my teleportation pad. Um, so basically I gave myself quick access to the dungeon area because at some point I decided to break the monotony and start to make a dent on the west side. And since we've previously established that my diagonal technique works better from this particular angle, um, instead of trying to get good at the other angle, I just made a teleportation pad and basically go at the angle that I'm used to. Um, and then at some point, relatively soon, I'm probably going to get to that point where I feel compelled to make a dent in the hell lava situation. But I don't remember seeing that yet, so I'm thinking that's still in the future. Um, and then I think I noticed in the previous video that I was doing something that probably looked extremely weird without context. I was basically going around the perimeter of the map trying to mine off the map. At some point during my playing, it became clear that there were more blocks than what was being shown on screen. And I wouldn't consider myself to have obsessive compulsive personality disorder and be a awkward perfectionist when it comes to crazy things of trivial nature like that, but for some reason it kicked in. Um, my dad has obsessive compulsive personality disorder, but so yeah, in the end, both sides were relatively crazy, although my dad's side's certainly more stable. He's actually capable of living a relatively normal life. He just gets agitated by wacky imperfections. Like if a table is not perfectly centered on a rug, that's going to bug him to death. And if the table is not perfectly centered under the chandelier, it's going to bug him to death. And then there comes the point when you can't align all three of those planets together because the builder of the house was a moron and did not accommodate for that particular scenario. And so we, every so often, have to align a different pair of the planets together um, to basically feed his compulsion of perfection. So I guess you could say tiny dose of that woke up in me. And I wanted to go and destroy all the blocks that I could that were off screen. It looks like I'm moving into honey mode here on the fourth screen. Um, so the original idea is at some point I remember reading and using a technique where you use one inlet pump and multiple outlet pumps, and then all the outlet pumps will basically pump out the same single block that the inlet pump took out. But as you may have seen already or will see soon, it doesn't really work out like that um, anymore, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. It's not really clear at this point if the physics have changed or my understanding of how to execute the physics of it has diminished. But in any case, I've in this run been able to only successfully make one-to-one transfers. Um, I'm actually still yet to try the gambit of linking different outlets to one inlet with different cords. I'm wondering if using multicolored wires will trick the system properly. Um, it's certainly something I would find worthwhile trying, especially if my giant staircase of water turning into an ocean gambit doesn't really pan out as well as I would have hoped. Um, but in any case, because I have to do everything one to one, that means I have to rely on other methods of duplication, namely the staircase duplication. So, what I do is okay, so video 3 is actually finally starting up on preparing the initial tests of honey. Basically, I pour a few things of honey. Oh, no, I have to first go to Town and get myself some materials. That's right. So I'm visiting the place that Cat Althum was under house arrest with no visitation rights until the Moon Lord died. And I think I'm looking around for inlet and outlet pumps and um, watches and timers and stuff, and basically just trying to get ready to make a pumping station. Either that or I just need to collect a bunch of honey that time, and I'll be going back to Toontown again later. Um, so I confirmed my hopes and dreams that honey does not dissolve in hell, which means it can be used as a sustainable medium for getting rid of the lava down here. And so this is probably where I try to do the multiple outlets, and it wasn't really working. And there's probably a good amount of me staring at the outlets and the wiring sequence and trying to see if there's any logical reason as to why it's not working, because I had previously known it to work the way I was trying to do it. Looks like I'm heading back to Town again. I think I had to go there like 3 or 4 times in this cohort. Probably looking for watches this time around. Although I can't really see because the frame rate has gone down quite a bit on these 4 videos for me in the preview. I think a lot of stuff's going on. And it's probably more than what a laptop CPU from years ago can handle. Hopefully it all turns out good once it's all properly rendered and whatnot, and this is just the player deciding to be lazy and save CPU strain. Well, that about does it for this video. I will see you next video.